To the average person, this looks like a normal bathroom floor. There's nothing special about it, but it's hiding a secret. Typical master bathroom, there's not really anything special about it, except we have heated floors. So this type of floor is actually an electric radiant heat. As you'll notice, we have one wire that goes all the way up, all the way to the wall. Sometimes you can have a wire mesh, but the most common is just one strand. And that wire is sandwiched between the finish layer and the substrate beneath. Now you can also get hydronic heat, but that's a little bit more expensive and a little bit more complicated. Long story short, instead of electric wires heating the floor, you have tubes that hot water run through. Heated floors like this have a lot of pros, but they do have some cons. One pro is in-floor radiant heat systems like this are really efficient. They only heat the intended area and they don't lose a lot of energy. They can also last a really long time, more often than not outlasting the entire furnace of the house itself. They also provide flexibility because you can actually have furniture in your bathroom without having to worry about the heating vents. And it's also nice if you wake up in the middle of the night and you have to take a piss, the floors aren't going to be freezing cold. Some of the cons involved are a little bit difficult to install retroactively, meaning that you actually have to install the flooring whenever you first build a bathroom. Not saying you can't do that, but it's a little bit more difficult, and obviously with difficulty comes price. And speaking of price, it's technically considered a luxury, therefore you usually don't have somebody that specializes into it locally, so oftentimes you have to reach farther out of your area, which in turn increases the price. The lack of ductwork makes it really inefficient for cooling. Whenever you turn the system on, it usually takes a minute for it to warm up, so you may not notice the effects right away. And last but certainly not least, even though they do last a long time, if something happens and you actually have to tear up the floor to get to one of the coils, it's going to be expensive.